I do today.
Been there, done that.
Have you?
Mm-hmm.
It's no good.
No.
No good.
How you feeling?
I feel great. Yeah, I did not feel so good last week. First time in 17 games, or 17 years, missing a game. So kept thinking I'd be able to make it, and eventually had a little surgery and wasn't able to get there. So, but feeling good now. Thank you.
When did you sort of know, like, guys, it's not going to happen?
Probably the Thursday. Quite honestly, I had missed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but had that surgery on Wednesday, and so I figured I'll be good to go, and I'll see you guys up in Bemidji. And Thursday still wasn't feeling real great, so at that point I kind of figured I would not see them up there.
How'd you handle it? I mean, how tough was it sitting, watching?
It was tough. Yeah, it's really hard. Obviously in communication with our staff all week, and you know, they have a ton of responsibility week in, week out, so it wasn't that big of a deal at all from a practice perspective, and on a weekend, other than me not being on the bench. Mitch changes our D, Boom changes our forwards, so that happens all the time anyways, but it's hard watching, you know, certainly, and you start seeing things kind of from a different perspective too, which was really positive.
Is that sort of a predetermined protocol you have as a head coach? Like, hey, when I can't go, here's how it works for the rest of the team?
Not really. I mean, it's the way it worked out, but like I said, it's never happened before in the 17 years. So again, just that communication with our staff that's more than capable, and really proud of our group and the ones that we have on staff, and so it was a pretty easy transition.
A couple of wins last weekend. Just how important was it to bounce back after?
It's big. Yeah, and whether we wanted more goals or whatever there against Bemidji, it's 2 wins on the road against a team that always plays us tough, especially at their place. And so those 6 points were huge. Kind of get back in the win column, put those in the bank, and now we just continue to go, and it gets tougher here the rest of the way. So certainly the confidence, I think, is there, and the ability to score some goals helped.
As much as the points, I mean, did you see something Monday kind of psychologically that got the group back a little bit?
Which Monday? This past
Monday.
Yeah, and you know, it was good. Like I said, I was able to kind of see things from a different perspective as well, and so I was able to share my thoughts from what I viewed as an outsider, not being around all week, and things that I need to do better as a head coach. We need to do better as a staff, and our players need to do better to get us to a level that if we're going to contend for a championship, we have to be at, and we just haven't been at that level, unfortunately, here the last couple weeks.
Brad, when you hear about players who sit out and watch the game and get a different perspective, you doing that as a coach, we don't hear that much.
Yeah.
What did you take away from that? What things stood out to you about your team?
Well, you know, we've talked about at the beginning of the year, we went around with our group and said, you know, what if somebody watches you from the outside, what do you want them to say about you? You know, and we came up with a couple words that we want to be known by, and I'll keep that internal. But as I'm watching it, I wasn't thinking those words, I wasn't thinking those actions, and so I was able to say, hey, like, if we want to be about this, and we say this is what we're going to be about, and I can't see it as somebody who's around you guys all the time, then we need more, and we gotta figure some things out. So I think that was probably the biggest thing was just seeing how we were playing, how we weren't. It didn't seem to have the energy that we normally do, and in order for us, again, I've told our team we're not talented enough this year to just show up and beat anybody. Like we have to play differently, and we have to play in a certain way in order for us to be successful. Did that very much in the first half. Haven't done it as much here in the second half, and at the same time, we're 4-2 in the second half. Yeah, we got our butts kicked against Ohio State. There's no doubt. They're by far the best team in the country. But it doesn't mean we can't beat them down the road, but we've got to start playing significantly better.
What are your thoughts on this weekend?
Excited about it. You know, anytime it's a home and home, and we have a few of those, it's a little different. Friday night, Saturday afternoon, but again, a Maverick team that just continues to get better with John and his staff. And last week they were up 2-0 on Wisconsin. you know, and unfortunately probably felt like they let that one slip away, losing 3-2. But our league is just so tough, and so nothing's guaranteed, and you better show up and be ready to go. But they're a fast team. They continue to add more skill each and every year, and they're a team to definitely worry about.
You don't have a direct role in it this year, but your thoughts on Hockey Day Minnesota? I mean, kind of a big weekend.
It's always great, right? It's just an opportunity, and we've been fortunate enough to play in that, and just the way that it brings the state together, and everybody turning on Valleys and watching the different games and following the different high school collegiate games, and obviously the Wild. So it's a great day in Minnesota anytime you can drop the puck, and that's a pretty special day.
Bob says he loves outdoor hockey, and he hopes he coached in his last one a long time ago. Just you know, different challenge for a coach when you're dealing with weather and all that.
It is, and it all depends on kind of what's on the line too. Is it a non-conference game? Is it an exhibition game? Is it a conference game? Last time we played in it was against Ohio State. You know, the wind was just howling right in our face on the benches, and ended up scraping out a 2-1 win. But prefer the indoors if we have the chance. And at the same time, and if we were given the opportunity to try and be in it again, it's an experience that that our players and coaches would relish for sure.
What's it like for the players now that having the PWHL as an avenue?
It's awesome. It's awesome. I mean, I've been around 24 years, and there's been a lot of really, really good hockey players whose careers have ended after college because they didn't have a place to play. If they were fortunate enough to be good enough to get centralized with the Olympic teams or something like that, that was great. But to now have the ability to continue to play post-collegiately is fantastic for not just our players and the ones that are playing there now, but as you look at these high school girls and the young girls that are going to our games, their games, you know, they can now see something that they can be a part of down the road. Just actually was meeting with Danielle Savageau, the GM for Montreal. Talked with our players, like all of a sudden we have GMs from professional teams that are coming to watch our practice when, you know, they're coming in to play Montreal here, to play Minnesota tonight. And these GMs are always out, you know, looking around and evaluating players. That's new for our team. You know, we don't have NHL scouts watching our practices or games, but theoretically now we do in regards to the PW.
Was that today at practice?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great.
I think Liz Shepard must have made a wager because there was a picture of Kelly Panic and Taylor Heisey walking into the ring for a game wearing Ohio State gear. Did you have to call and apologize to them?
I didn't. I was on a bathroom floor at that time, and
So you weren't having fun either.
I saw that picture, and it didn't help my situation. All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good day.